There's no question that Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May have created so many memorable moments across both Top Gear and the Grand Tour. Among the challenges, the builds and the road trips, it's arguably the globetrotting specials which have created the most unforgettable moments. Whether it's long distance lorry driving in Burma, meals on wheels in India or mud plugging in the Madagascar, there's been so many fantastic specials. But which one is best? In preparation for the next instalment of the Grand Tour Season 4 and the gang's trip across Madagascar, we whittle down the Top Gear and Grand Tour specials to find our top 10. I'm Ash Robertson from Man Thoughts, and this is the 10 best Top Gear and Grand Tour specials. Number 10, India. The India special from Season 17 is widely considered to be one of the weaker Top Gear specials. Not only did it come at a time when Top Gear was experiencing a bit of a slump in quality and ratings, but the special itself missed a strong premise. Under the guise of a trade mission to sell the benefits of British business, the guys ultimately went from setup to setup. With all that being said, the special does still offer some funny moments, most notably when James May loses control of his unruly mower, Hammond confuses his flags, and then later attaches his winch to the bumper, not the chassis of his Mini. There's also all the antics on the train with the well-placed banners. All in all, the India special may not be the go-to, but it's certainly entertaining to watch. Number 9, Polar. Number 9 on our list comes from Season 9 as the trio raced to the North Pole. While Hammond took the traditional approach with a dog sled, Clarkson and May attempted to become the first people to reach it by car. It was certainly an ambitious challenge and one that has arguably become a classic Top Gear episode. It's no secret though that the Polar special struggles from a lack of variety. Just how many different ways can you film Arctic exploration in snowy landscapes? As a result, it has to rely heavily on a rather drawn out training and preparation montage to make the full hour. Once it does get going, however, we are treated to the usual shenanigans and toilet based humour. We also get to enjoy the unique dynamic of a rare Jeremy and James pairing, which offers many funny moments. Number 8, USA. Season 9's trip across the USA gave us our first glimpse of what we now call a Top Gear or Grand Tour special, as the guys tried to buy a car for less than it costs to rent one. While this fly drive challenge did serve as the genesis of what was to come with terrible reliability, interesting customization and plenty of tomfoolery, it's safe to say it hasn't aged too well. While obvious no animal was harmed by Clarkson or the crew, the whole roadkill segment is not the easiest to watch. It's the same for the now infamous Alabama fuel stop, where an angry gang was antagonised by the trio's attempts to get each other shot. Nonetheless, for its many laughs and sheer significance as the first special of this kind, it deserves to be rewatched and placed on this top 10 list. Number 7, Middle East. Much in the same way all Top Gear and Grand Tour fans will have different versions of this list, opinion seems to be split on the Middle East special. While some say it tails off from a strong start, others argue it's a fun interpretation of the Nativity with plenty of funny moments throughout. For me, I'd have to agree with the latter. Yes, it does start strong, especially as Jeremy and James leave Richard to fend for himself, and yes, there is a little bit of filler as they travel cross country, but there were still funny moments to make this a memorable special. Whilst it certainly wasn't planned, we also can't forget the shock factor and drama of James's awful accident. Above all, it did well to stick to the Three Wise Men premise, and the payoff of baby Stig being in the manger was just perfect. Number 6, Botswana. The Botswana special came at a time when Top Gear truly became appointment TV. The Season 10 special was no exception, as the guys tried to show you don't really need an SUV for those leafy country lanes. It's most fondly remembered for Hammond's special relationship with his Opel Kadett, which he quickly named Oliver. As their relationship blossomed, Hammond was uncharacteristically careful around May's car and avoided any kind of modification. It made it all the more painful when it plunged deep into the cold water. It's undoubtedly one of the most iconic scenes in Top Gear history. Oliver! This brilliant special with its hilarious moments and mammoth crossing of the Madagascar really did set the bar for subsequent Top Gear specials to follow. Number 5, Mongolia. The trio's trip across Mongolia is the only Grand Tour special to make it onto our list. Whilst the others certainly didn't fill me with hope for Season 4, the Mongolia special proved Clarkson, Hammond and May could still turn it on again. Unlike previous specials with the traditional 3-car setup, the guys had to share a car which they first had to build. This cool twist offers something really unique as the guys had to work together in the same car to take on the steep hills, the tough terrain and the terrible conditions. And even with the expansive emptiness they encounter, the special doesn't feel repetitive or dragged out. Instead, the change in terrain serve as chapters for this epic journey, and the banter and the conversations between the three just felt so authentic and unscripted. It's widely regarded as a masterpiece, and well deserving of its place among the great Top Gear specials. Number 4. Africa. After both the Middle East and India specials, I'm sure many fans were worried that Season 19's Africa special would be another case of setups, stunts and forced humour. Instead, we were treated to a throwback, a special that felt far more spontaneous and loose, and that was filled with natural and genuinely funny moments. With a stunning backdrop and 3 great car choices, the guys set off on their mission to once and for all find the source of the Nile. Along the way we had history lessons, modifications and plenty of mishaps, all hallmarks of a great special. Particular highlights include their arrival in Jezza, Jeremy's log handbrake and his body panel feud with James. It was effortlessly funny and well rounded off by the 3-race scramble to find the source. Number 3. Bolivia. When you see those 3 4x4s roll into shot on the barge, you know you're in for a great special. That's especially true when the boat pushing it shoots off, leaving the presenters to disembark their cars themselves. With the help of James's fall, Jeremy sinking and their plunge into the trees, it really sets the tone for this epic adventure. Where the Bolivia special is unrivaled is in its use of tension. Throughout the now famous Death Road scene, viewers are on the edge of their seats as Jeremy comes perilously close to the edge and James has to rely on just handheld torches to light the route. Add to this the comedic let me up moments of James in the machete or Jeremy's tribute to his fallen comrades, and it's just TV gold. Number 2. Burma. Number 2 on our list is the Burma special from Season 21, but the guys go long distance lorry driving across the beautiful country of Burma to Thailand to build the bridge across the River Kwai. Well, that was the plan. It wasn't just a case though of relying on the awesome addition of trucks to give the special its variety. Instead, we were treated to what is arguably one of their most epic adventures, which remained interesting, funny and entertaining throughout. As much as people say Top Gear isn't factual, the Burma special is a great example of where Top Gear can so effortlessly intertwine factual elements, telling the story of the prisoners of war through both their bridge building and the references to the film The Bridge on the River Kwai. It's a great example of where the 2-hour, 2-part specials work brilliantly, with plenty of time to cover both the adventure and the mammoth task of building their bridge. It's such a fantastic special, which is endlessly rewatchable. And number 1, Vietnam. Whilst many fans will contest the rest of this list and put them into their own particular order, it seems that a good majority of fans like us hold the Vietnam special as their number 1. There's certainly an argument to say it's the best Top Gear episode ever. Once again breaking from tradition, the trio used motorbikes to travel across the beautiful landscapes of Vietnam. Even with a lack of cars, the Vietnam special has everything, from frustrations, crashes and modifications, not all knowingly, through to comedy gifs, dodgy tailor-made suits, and train journeys in the wrong direction. And in between all the usual larking around and funny banter, Top Gear maintained its factual element, with nods to both Vietnam and the Vietnam War. If all that wasn't enough, the finale sees further modification as the trio convert their bikes into boats to sail to the finish line. The very fact that this special has inspired many tourists to recreate this adventure shows just how iconic this episode truly is. It's a masterpiece of television from the Top Gear crew, and a very worthy special for number 1 spot. And that's our list. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and tell us down below which Top Gear or Grand Tour special tops your list. Whilst you're here, don't forget to check out all our Top Gear and Grand Tour content. Until next time, we'll see you again soon here at Man Thoughts.